What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome for another day of forward testing. So I think it's day 21. I really don't count the days in forward testing. So today I caught a winner on NQ. The first one is a break even. The second was the winner. So let's break it through and see what went wrong and what went good. Right. So my first trade was inside here. Break even. I closed it manually because I saw that I had traded my stops and I was like, okay, I think I'm seeing a better entry, so I closed it and then I took this second move. So let's get right into it. So coming into the day, I was bearish. Let's view the day here. Coming into the day, I was bearish because yesterday we had made a very good drop to the downside and then we retraced back up like overnight, which is this. So I was expecting like a good drop potentially to one of these levels or even here. So it eventually ended up dropping to this level here. Took my profit somewhere around here, but I mean I'm okay with the part of the move that I caught. And as time goes on, I'll also develop the mentality and maybe the discipline to hold some runners. The reason is because holding runners will be helpful. I mean you could hold the whole move, and as capital grows then the profits grow as well. So I was bearish, as I was saying. For NQ we had already retraced to premium, so I didn't expect any other push to the upside. I was expecting like a drop directly to the downside. So I went down on the 1 hour. You can see decent push, hit premium by a few ticks, then it started dropping. 15-minute premium was also the same thing. And on ES we hadn't reached premium yet, but we did. That's when I took my first position. So another extra confluence that I had was that we had this beautiful rejection of this fair value gap here. It's actually what's it called? Is it a BP whatever? I don't remember the name. And I have two gaps, balanced price range, yeah, BPR. So we retraced back to this BPR. It's kind of like a Venom model, but on the bigger time frame. So we traced back into this gap and then we start shooting up higher, which was a confidence that the futures will start to drop. Now if we go to the charts, we can see that, okay, so when we go to the charts we can see it's still dropping. So my initial target was here. I mean, was it here? I think here, somewhere around here, which was close to this third standard deviation level. So back to what I was saying, which is my first entry. So I'm inside here. I think I should, let's go to the 1 minute. So we're at the 1 minute. This level here is the fib. I marked the first present fair value gap, thinking that we could return back into premium, which we didn't, but I ended up taking the entry, and here's why. ES ended up pushing into premium of this small range here. When you check it on NQ, we hadn't pushed, so we created this SMT. You can see that NQ was kind of stronger. Then once we create the SMT right here, I entered, and why did I enter? We had a 15-minute order block right here. Let me open the 15-minute. You can see this candle here. So I entered right here on this candle. Now after entering, I entered one position, and then I ended up adding another one. But after adding the other, as price dropped, I like traded my stops slowly, and then I saw that the gap that I had ignored was being retraced to. So this was the gap here, and my entry was somewhere around here. So now we dropped, retraced back into the gap on this candle here. This candle I added another position, then it dropped. So I trailed all my stops somewhere around here, and then when it started to retrace back, I closed a break-even position. Then I saw a better opportunity on the 5-minute, which we were retracing into a fair value gap. And actually on the 1 minute, you can see that we also put in a liquidity sweep, which is very, very great. Then I enter short right here, and I hold it for the second standard deviation level. I could have targeted the daily, but I was kind of unsure because we're leaving the all-time highs and literally anything could happen. So I wanted to be open to any idea that the market could present today. So that was how my trades were taken. So now let's review them in TradeZella. So this was the first one I scaled in, and then this was the third one. Let's review them. So we had actually not much of them yesterday, so let's review this. This one I could have made like around 400, because this one was the max profit it reached was 400 combined with the other one. I saw that the max profit it reached was 400, so this it was an A plus. This one was an A plus, really. So the mistakes I did here was okay, I think I trailed too quick and I entered late entry, sorry, like entering late, not acting like a sniper is also small mistake, small one. Another small mistake that I did was quick trading stop loss quickly, and yeah, price point we were at all-time high and then started dropping. The news the news that we've got, let me check. We had like President Trump speaking in the morning, not interesting. We had new home sales at 4, so we had what we call new home sales. Okay, FOMC member Dali, blah blah blah. So nothing big on this week. So the playbook was the ICT 2022, because I believe I entered on the fair value gap. Check right here. This wasn't ICT fair value gap down. It was like high volatility. I think I created a high volatility intraday scalp model. Like this one, where like I retraced to a higher time frame POI, which was that 15-minute order block, and we retraced back into it. By the way, I'd like to view it and edit some little things as well. Oops. Okay, so we need like SMT as well, or liquidity sweep. Liquidity sweep. It's pretty much okay. Liquidity sweep is not that necessary. Say it like this. So this SMT, gonna move it a bit up. What did it change? Rules. SMT. Now when we go back to trades, where is the first one? It's this one right here. This small win I could have made around 324. The line size will be green to no drawdown. Great. I thought it was gonna say green to red. So it was this intraday scalp model, but it's like ICT, man. Like we had the SMT, high time frame POI rejection, and manual exit here. Okay, so this was all for this trade. It was like a break even. Let me add some notes and then we'll continue. Right, so for this trade, I took it because the conferences were lining up smoothly, as in I had the SMT. ES was retracing back to premium. We were rejecting a 15-minute order block. We were bearish rejecting a higher time frame for fair value gap. So you see, like all those things keep piecing up. And if you observe directly, I took it right in the macro. I mean, look at when I took it, 1054. So it was also in the macro. So this was an absolute banger. Let's go to the next one as well, which was a loss. Which was like a scale in. I think I did somewhere around here. Let's check it out. Next, or a little bit late, but it was a scale in. So this one was sold up around 94, but ended up with being the loss. Green to break even. So let's check the entry. You can see we had started rejecting this fair value gap here. So I was like, okay, rejecting the gap. I scale in, I add in another entry. My entries are not that sharp, like catching them somewhere around there, but you can see that I ended up catching the entry as a scale in, but the size was smaller than the original entry. Same setup, size smaller. And the size being smaller means that I won't lose much if price reverses on me. So you can see that price ends up reversing. I close it somewhere around here because well, I could see that it was starting to drop, and then this was the gap. I could have waited possibly, but I'm grateful that I ended up taking the one that was right here. I mean, it was better. Not caring about like making more, I'm caring about like making my interest better, showing up every day, and all of that. So yeah, this trade was like since it's like scaling in, I mean, I'm learning it, but it's getting better day to day, even though it ended up as a loss, but it was really great. So there was no mistakes on this one here, except that I also trade stop loss quickly. It was the same setup. For this news status, nothing, but we had new home sales today in the news at 10. Now, why did I take this trade? I'm gonna fill this up and continue. Okay, so for this trade here, the reason I took this trade was because the market was getting cleaner and cleaner. Like that was the reason for the scaling. So it's pretty much the same setup. I decided to put it as a separate trade because I had different remarks I wanted to pass on for this. Probably the next time I'll just combine it in TradeZilla. So how did I feel? Confident, and I actually had a solid bias, and closing the trade I felt okay with the break even. I mean, if I take the right setups, scaling in should be like easy. So I'm grateful that I'm also learning that. So the lesson I learned here is that I learned about scaling and how good pyramiding positions, and grateful for this, and I hope I grow more patience as well. I mean, the level here is not bad, but I mean, the more it grows, the more I can withstand bad market conditions, because this reflected me to yesterday. Like yesterday was terrible market conditions. Well, our bias and setup ended up playing out. Maybe not the way we expected, but the whole bias ended up playing out. So being able to withstand those bad conditions and wait for days like this is also, should I call it a superpower or something, like very, very great. So I'm also grateful for that. So to prevent the mistakes, just the previous trade. If you want to trail the stop, just wait for BE, and other than that, GG's. Now let's go to the next trade as well, which was the winner of the day. Here it is, 2 point something R. I give it a 5, man. Very, very beautiful, very great delivery. I mean, look at this target, bro. Imagine if you also targeted this one right here. I mean, it would be the best. This this daily low, because it's close to a fair value gap. Now this is absolutely good. This move is absolutely good. And then the market decided to retrace back up. I think maybe we'll be about to set itself up for a bearish trend for the coming days, but I'm not here to predict the markets. I'm just reacting with what is happening day to day. So this trade was an absolute banger. The good thing today is that I left it running and then I came back later. So no mistakes on this one. Pretty straight to the point. Let's add some notes and move on to the next. Now for this last trade here, when I took this trade, I had solid buy, solid confirmation, so the trade delivered. The lesson I learned from this trade is that if you get off the laptop and you're not there to micromanage it, it will deliver good results. An example is, let's say I saw it maybe move to the downside. You can see that I entered somewhere around here in this candle. So let's say it's moving to downside. You can see where it closed. pushed back up, drop, push back up. So imagine if a whole trade my stop maybe somewhere around here. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna drop. Then it takes me out. Like all those tiny, small micromanagement decisions would affect the trade. So that was great. So I think that's all for today's trades. Were around three. One original scaling, and then the last one, which all were the same setup, but 3 trades. I don't know why it's not marked as reviewed, but blessed, please.